Amid the anger and sadness at Princess Diana's death, it is worth remembering she was being pursued by paparazzi in a country which has the toughest privacy laws in the world. It seems when you're famous, you're fair game. The more you hide, the bigger the photographic bounty on your head. One celebrity who knows what it's like to be the hunted is our own Michael Hutchence, lead singer of Australia's INXS. In this exclusive interview from Vancouver, Canada, he told Witness of the nightmare of media intrusion for him, his partner Paula Yates, and for their children. Michael Hutchence, you've been on the receiving end of treatment from the paparazzi. What is it like?
It depends where you are, to be honest. I've been living in London, and in London I don't think people really understand what that means. Everybody seems to be on everybody's payroll. In England, it seems, and maybe everywhere else, you know, the chef, the maitre d', the waiter, you know what I mean? They're all getting 50 quid or 100 quid to call people and tell people other people's business, you know. Well, imagine you're sitting there and you're having dinner with somebody and the entire conversation has been taped. And it's your first dinner, actually, together, you know. The entire conversation has been taped, and they've paid off the hotel to not have music. I kept on saying, why is there no music? And they're taping it, and then as you get up, people start coming at you, and like ghouls, and they start taking photographs and grabbing you and pushing you. And
so how do you cope with it?
We have to deal with that, but then there's other innocents. You know, there's children and parents, and I've seen the photographers at a distance push Pixie, who's 6 years old, over to make her cry, and take a photograph, and then print a front page headline: "Life with Paula and Michael for Pixie." You know, that's what you read.
You've also thumped a couple of photographers. I know about that too.
Yeah, I've thumped a photographer. I was up for 6 months, and the judge laughed at the photographer and gave me a £500 fine because they're sick of tabloids being the judge and jury of the land instead of what is really truly judge and jury, which is law.
They have written some pretty filthy things about Paula in their time, haven't they?
Well, the other day we were out the front of Hard Rock with the kids, and 4 guys jumped out of a taxi and said something I can't repeat to the mother of my children. And the mother of my children is a good woman. Paula is a woman to those that do know her and not to those who read about her, has had to pay an enormous price for leaving St. Bob for me. In London, that, as an Australian, I think that is considered bad form.
Do you accept that as a public figure, you forfeit at least some of your right to privacy, if not all of your right to privacy?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm just saying, you are being ripped off. The public is ripped off. You are paying money for fat cats to get fatter on our images, which I should get 10% for every time someone takes a bloody photograph, and every time somebody writes a lie. And from the glossies down to the tabloids, they write things, and what are you going to do? Fight them in court for 2 weeks for £5 million? They want you to do that.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever sued? I gather that Princess Stephanie of Monaco has a bevy of lawyers who spend their time using France's privacy laws.
Princess Stephanie of Monaco's got a lot more money than me, mate.
What would you like to see happen? Do you think there is a way forward, or is it something that you guys have just got to cop?
I guess we're just going to have to cop it, you know. And luckily we have friends and family, and we know the truth. But I'm sick of. I suppose I think a lot, and not just me. Lots of people are sick of having to. It's a social phenomena. And as this new century comes in, I wonder what we're going to do, because, this is the end of celebrity. This is the destruction of magic. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that was particularly true of the royal family, wasn't it? The way in which the royal family's lives were exposed.
Yeah, it's against the law to be racist and bigoted and da-da-da-da-da-da. But it doesn't seem to be against the law to take, you know, all we want to do is, all we want to do is sing, you know, or someone wants to make movies, or Paula wants to write books and have children. And that's not the point, though. It's actually, like Diana said just before she died, I have to leave this country. If I could, I'd leave this country. Any sane person would. Because there's nothing I do that works, you know. Everything I do, only the negatives are blown out of proportion and the positives are destroyed.